We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And it's our podcast. And I'm here with my other podcast host, Maria from the UK, Alina from Poland, and Dr. Kara from Texas. And I'm from Florida. And we have the pleasure of having our guest, Angela, join us today. And she's going to share a very inspiring story with everyone. So, Angela, come join us.
Hello, everyone. Right.
So, tell us, share your story with us. And we don't care where you begin, wherever you
Okay.
want.
Right now, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to kind of like showcase or talk about things I'm doing right now, and hopefully trying to like empower more women to do more for society. So I was born in England, and I went back to Africa with my dad, and came back to England when I was about 12, yeah, around that age anyway. And I would say I was a tomboy, to be fair. I loved everything fast, like I do now. Planes, cars, you name it. I just love it. Joined the Navy at the age of 16. My mom was crying. I had to not go to actually take it up because just didn't want me flying planes, and I really wanted to fly F-16s as well. But you know the reason why as well. It was Top Gun, Tom Cruise, that got me going as well. So I took it a step further. I was motivated to want to do things men, you know, do. And I grew up in a family, obviously just being a Nigerian and African. I was the only girls. Boys are seen as more superior to girls, even though I'm the first child. And that really, really ticked me off, especially when I was growing up. And I felt I was so sidelined, and I didn't like that. But I didn't let it affect me. I just did everything to prove a point that we can do this. We're moving forward. So the back of my mind when I was growing up, I've always had that to say, just do the best you can, regardless of your gender. It doesn't matter. And slowly, I think my mom got to understand that, but she's proper old school anyway, and I get it because for her, girls don't do this, girls don't do that. You wear pink. No, I wanted to wear blue. I want to wear purple. So it was a really massive kind of like restriction I had, but I did see it as a barrier. I actually saw it as a positive thing. I had to make it positive because growing up in England, it wasn't the best times in my life and stuff. But I wanted to do something with my life at least for others. I've always had a passion to help people with disabilities right from a very young age. I would say I love children naturally, and yeah, it's just I think at the age of 16, I did get a scholarship. I got a football scholarship to play soccer. I got a athletic scholarship as well. So I was running as well, and all I wanted to do was just literally train to be a coach to look after to actually train children with disability. And I couldn't believe it. And I had the chance. I used some of the money to pay for the course, and I did it. And I was so excited. I couldn't believe that I've done exactly what I wanted to do. So I was actually training I literally once a week in I think it was Lewisham somewhere. I can remember. It's such a long time ago in London. I used to go to the local school, primary school there, which had a disability group. So we used to play basketball and stuff. For me, it was just pure heaven. I mean, I don't know how to explain that, but I just feel that I was so blessed not to go through the pain and suffering that they're going through, which at that point, as a 16-year-old, I didn't know much about it, but I just knew I needed to do something. But actually, I'll actually rewind backwards, actually. I think I was 15. Actually, it was, yeah, I was doing my GCSE, and my teacher, Mr. Hall, said to me, "Oh, what are you going to do for your craft design and technology? It's a course you do, because obviously I like everything a boy can do. So yeah, it was, I mean, I wasn't going to go on the economics and do like knitting and sewing. No, I want whether woodwork, metalwork, everything. So I did it all. So I said to him, do you know what I really want to do? I wish I could actually think about designing a hydraulic chair that can help someone with disability to actually lift themselves up to get a cup from the cupboard without somebody doing it for them, giving them that empowerment. And obviously they have the autonomy to do whatever they want to do. And he looked at me and was like, what are you thinking about? I was like, no, I want to call it a hydraulic chair. I already knew what in my mind how it looked like. I already knew what I wanted. And we did the what do you call it kind of like a prototype, but I couldn't move forward with it because I needed more money and no one believed in my dream. And I just thought, you know what? Okay, it was worth a dream, not a problem. I'll, did really well my GCSE thanks to Mr. Hall. I'm still in touch with him now. So I really, really thank him for the way he's actually paved the way for me to do what I'm doing right now. And then fast forward in 2009, before that, I was actually a computer analyst. I worked in Warner Brothers International Cinema for about 11 years and doing loads of IT stuff and everything. But I felt there was something missing. I just obviously had children, had 4 kids and everything else. And I was thinking, this is not what I want to do. And after the first degree, great. And I thought, you know what? For a joke, I'll just apply for nursing and see how I get on with that. And I was based in Ireland at this time because we were transferred from different areas. I worked in Ireland, Belgium. I was literally going everywhere with the kids as well. They were like my little handbag, and everything else. So when I applied, Ireland nursing is totally different from the UK nursing. You need to, at that time, I hope things have changed now, you had to do an exam, a written exam, then you have to sit down in front of like nuns and talk about why you want to do nursing. And then after that, you have to wait for the computer to select you. So that even if you did pass everything and the computer doesn't select you, you can't start doing nursing in Ireland. So it was very competitive. And I went through the whole stages, passed that, and then I got an email like, "Oh, you got in. You're doing intellectual disability nursing." I was like, oh, okay. Seems like this is real now. It's no more joke. So, which is really great. So that's really propelled me, and I felt that I found what I wanted to do, and I was moving back into that caring mode I've always have towards people with disability and people in general, really. But I just think for me, I have more passion to really help people look at them as helpless, but they're not. You're literally just empowering them to do what they want to do and how the way they want to do it as well. All you're doing is supporting and encouraging, not telling them what to do. So I think as much as anything, I was really excited. And because in Ireland it's very religious still. So I actually was enrolled with the Daughters of Charity, and you have the guys who had the Brothers of Charity or something, but we literally had different like areas we had to do our training. I did a training in Dublin City University, brilliant university, can't complain. It was great 4 years of my life, I would say. Learned a lot, very difficult at that time because I was juggling uh, I think, yeah, 3 children, just had a baby then during that time as well. So it was very hard trying to get around kids under the age of 7, 4 of them, and trying to move around and try and get help, support from local community because I was pretty new in Ireland as well, and I didn't have much support. But that side, I think in about 2 months, I kind of knew the whole area really after that. So yeah, that was kind of good as well because then we all helped each other. And naturally, I am very warm to be. I never ever would walk away and not say hello to anybody. Sometimes my other half would be thinking, do you have to say hello to every single person? And I'm like, really? You asking me that question? Of course, because that hello can mean a lot to them. And I have been stopped in supermarket by the elderly to say, "Oh, you're smart," and I'll stand there and talk to them. And he just looks at me thinking, "Oh my goodness gracious!" Even the kids as well, they do the same thing. But I haven't stopped being who I am just because they're around. I'm still that kind of person. So it was very difficult. But then my second year in university, I was obviously you have placements and you kind of like feeling a bit worried. Would you pass your placement? Would you, different things like you do as a student anyway. And I was put on a placement to go and visit where the chair, obviously the wheelchairs chairs are being made. And I thought, okay, great, excellent. Got there, walked into through the door, and I turned around. I said, "Oh, that's the hydraulic chair." And one of the engineers looked at me like, "Excuse me?" I said, "How do you know?" I said, "Because I invented that when I was 15." And he's like, "What? No way." No, and literally said some words I can't say on on this platform, but it was like he was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, but I called it. It's known as a high-low chair now. So when you go out, it wasn't a hydraulic, but the concept is the same thing. So literally, and he's like, if only you've done that, you would have been a multi-millionaire now. But I just said to him, I said, yeah, I know, but it wasn't it meant to be. Well, I'll do something, not to worry, because I love inventing. I love anything, innovation, health related to health. I'm in there. I'm straight away. So that's always been in my system, shall I say. And I actually left that factory feeling kind of really cool. Like, if only, I had that support. But it doesn't stop anything. It just showed that I had the drive in me anyway. And yeah, so that's the first lot. Then I was doing, during that time when I was in Ireland, I realized there was a lot of influx of migrants coming in from different parts of Europe. And a lot of them didn't speak English, and a lot of them were very scared because they've heard things about if you say something, you say this, they'll take your children away and everything else. So during my training, I spent some time going to this assessment unit in Dublin and obviously making visit to homes as well. I just realized there was a barrier in communication because the person with disability and the family have a language barrier. The doctors are saying one thing, they thinking another thing, and most of the things are fear because the fear of the unknown. What are you going to do? What's happening? They didn't have anyone trying to explain to them that this is how it works. In a more relaxed atmosphere. A lot of the times when I sat down in meetings like that, you can see parents crying because they're thinking the child's going to be taken away or this, and different things. And I said to myself, you know what? When I finish, the day I finish my nursing, I'm going to set up an organization that will form a link between the HSE, which is the Health Service Executive, known as almost like the NHS here, and the migrant community. I don't know how I was going to do it, but I was going to do it. So when I did finish, thanks to Sister Zoe, she was the director of nursing with the Daughters of Charity, and I talked about what I wanted to do and stuff. So she kind of kept a little eye on me and everything. And when I did say to her that I have registered the organization, which was Migrants and Minority Disability Network Ireland, and she was absolutely like, wow, okay, brilliant. But I think for me as well, it was really, really important to get the support as well. And she had support in a sense of like, I know you can do it. You, I mean, she did, I mean, people don't have to tell you how to do things. They can just give you that support. It's good enough. It was very difficult because I didn't know what to do. Where do I start? Who do I meet? How do I get funding? Never got funding at all because I used to work night shift and then pay the bills and then use some of that money to do some assessments. I'll travel to people's houses, I'll pay for my petrol. So in the first week of actually setting up the organization, I had over 50 cases and it was only me. And the HSC were actually directing cases to me. So at that point, I needed help financially as well because I didn't know what to do. And these were cases of like, families who didn't speak English. English is not their first language. And a lot of them had a distrust for the health service or anybody around them because they didn't know what your intentions are, or are you trying to say something? Are they, because they're already having that fear of like, they don't know if they're going to be deported. They don't know if they're going to be asked to leave tomorrow. So it was very, very like scary for them. But I was able to kind of break through that because I think that was the biggest barrier, trying to get them to understand that I'm on a side where I can help both sides. So, of course, there's certain things you're going to say to me. If it is as a clinician, if it is something, I would have to disclose it. But in reality, whatever we discuss here is confidential. So it was very important to ascertain that trust. And it was through people, when I speak to one person, they're like, oh, yeah, 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 I know that lady, and Angela, yeah, yeah, she's all right. Yeah, you can call her. And before you know, I was getting calls, so people kind of like were able to kind of open up the family home. I go on an assessment and they'll bring food and, oh, come for dinner. And I'm like, you know what, I wish I could, but it was just the fact that I had more families from Afghanistan. I think we had a few Kurds. So it was really a variety of people. And that's what I wanted, to be able to help everybody I could. It was almost impossible at one point because financially I couldn't cope. And I working as well and not having a full-time job and obviously everything else. So I caught the eye of Disability Federation of Ireland. So they called me in and asked me, oh, okay, let's see what you're doing. Do you need any help? And I told them everything, and they were absolutely crucial in helping me, guide me, and things I should watch out for. People would say things they don't mean, and all the little nitty-gritty, which I wasn't aware of. I mean, I did. People, oh yeah, yeah, no problem, we'll do that. We'll go for this meeting, and the next minute, oh no, you can't apply for funding because you need to do this, you need to do. So it was always something, it was a red tape. So they did support me to a point, the best they can, and I used their facilities and stuff and everything. So during that time, I was obviously with the whole thing, I felt ill. I think I had a kidney infection then. And I was in bed and I got a call from the Disability Federation, the director, and it's like, Angela, do you mind joining us on this project for Disability Federation in the European Union? And I was like, yeah, sure, no, why not? And he's like, okay, but can you write a project? I'm like, oh yeah, that I can do. Definitely. No problem. So I wrote the project, We Count as Much, for people with disability to be able to go into a shop, have the space to use the wheelchair, have the space, the accessibility to get everything that we get and we take for granted most times as well. And my, I was specifically targeting the African shops, the Polish shops, because for them, they're in Ireland. Just having a shop is a great thing. But then why would you have a shop upstairs? How do people get upstairs when it's only stairs? And a lot of the times in Ireland, it was like an estate, like a big, massive estate, and then you just tiny little shop. And I go in there, and I was like, I can't even move myself. So how could somebody? And I did speak to a lot of the shop owners to say, can we? They're like, there's nothing we can do. And in reality, you are always, as much as anything, they're doing the best. So what people do, disability do, they wait outside. Their family member goes upstairs, buy the stuff, and come back. So with that, they actually liked it. So the next thing I know, we're flying to Belgium for the conference. So I pitched the project out. We didn't get the support we needed, but that didn't faze me. It was just experience to really note everything that was going on in a massive kind of perspective, and not like just regional. This is like national, like, and everything else. And I got to meet loads of people, connected network with loads and loads of other agencies. So then I started traveling around trying to educate people, and people with from the migrant community, on how to kind of like support them and don't see them as a threat, vice versa. And during that time again, 2016, I think we all remember that, when we had the loads of boats coming in from the European shores. And I was sitting down watching BBC, and I thought, what can I do? Right, I could write a project. And I had the chance to go to Belgium during that time, and with the ESPD, it's a massive organization in disability organization in Europe, where they have over 1,000 like different organizations around Europe as well. So you can't get any bigger thing than that. And I had a word with one of the gentlemen there, and I said, "Oh, you know what I'm thinking? It would be really good for us to kind of do a project on knowing the data, how many people coming in, what are the health needs, how can we?" And he looked at me and thought, okay, all right, not a problem. But the only thing is, you need to sell this to the director. And I was okay, fine, give me the chance. And I went up to him and said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, I'm doing, you've only got 30 seconds." Within 10 seconds, he was like, "Yes, we want the project." So literally all I said to him was, "Can we write a project together where we can, assess the needs, the health needs of the migrants coming into Europe?" And he was like, "Okay, fantastic. Put it in writing." So this was 2016. So that's where Amid started his journey, or shall I say, Amid was born. That's access to migrants with disability in Europe. So it was absolutely fantastic. 2 years, or yeah, 2 or 3 years of hard work, getting data. But the most important thing was, at this time, they've accepted a project I co-wrote. And then another thing as well, there were 12 other countries in Europe who actually joined the project. So we were looking at a million project to help the migrants. And we all know when it comes to anything migration, migrants, it's not really a popular topic. And sometimes people don't want to hear it, but the reality is we need to hear it. We're in a world where everybody, move from different places. We should accept, tolerance is extremely important, regardless of who you are, what status you are. And I think that passion to always help the voiceless, the helpless, has always been my driving force. To a point, the kids, they know, they're like, "Oh, mom's, she's gone traveling again." And I think somebody did ask them, "What do you think?" She's like, "Oh, she's doing what she loves." And when they said that and I heard that, I was very shocked, because I never really discussed what I do. They know I was doing something. They're like, "Oh, mom, yeah, you're going to this country," but it was just really nice. That paved the way for what they want to be in life as well, because my daughter's studying medicine and the other one's doing neuroscience, and, and everything, that she loves the brain. And for me, that was what I wanted. I didn't want a situation where I grew up in a home where a girl was seen as nothing. But then I've got girls, and I tell them every day, you can do whatever you want to do, you can be whoever you want to be, and the same path. Yes, at the moment, having that gender, difference is still there, but we are closing it up slowly, extremely slow. Oh, I think I just got a question.
Maria,
Oh, Maria, hi.
you have your hand up.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, you're muted, Maria.
No, I don't know. I just did the
Oh,
Oh,
you hit
no,
the
no, no,
mistake.
that's
it did it
fine.
by
Okay.
mistake. I'm
That's
so
fine.
So,
fascinated. Just please keep going.
oh,
No, no problem.
so wow,
So,
Angela, this is an
no,
absolutely
so
amazing
it's
story.
just
Yeah.
literally, so in 2016, 2017, 2018, I was working and traveling to Belgium every single month. Um, Great thing was, yes, that the travel got paid for, but everything else I have to pay myself. But for me, it was just the fact that I had the chance to co-write and then be in the advisory board on such a project, which I felt would be beneficial to every country. So
Hmm.
we know how to allocate funding, allocate support, training, empowerment of the people who are doing this job, meeting people they've never met before in their lives. Giving them that support was extremely important. So the project wasn't just a project we wrote and then that's it. No, we were engaging. So every step, we spoke to people, we were educating the Gardaís, the police, the immigration police in Germany, on how the importance of not making them feel that they've done something wrong. This is, I think it was very important for me, because I think one of the guys did say, "But with Angela, we're non-medical." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the reason why I want to do this, because you don't have to have a medical background to be able to volunteer and support, because you're restricting people to be, oh yeah, I can't do that. But if a migrant comes into a country like Greece, you take the information. We designed a questionnaire, which was very important, that we took into consideration trust, different religion. We had to be very careful. And I think I must really credit the team during that time. I think now I appreciate them more, but then it was such a hard work. But getting to the final, should I say final line, it was brilliant. But we just gelled. It was just a natural feeling. And this is different people from different countries. Like we had Denmark, I think we had Germany. We had a goal. And that goal was, let's gather some information, gather some data, so we can help these people as well.
Wow.
So my motto was, um, it is we appreciate we grew up in a world where things are a little bit easier to get and everything. So one thing I did say was, regardless of your status, your color, you are entitled to the basic needs of health care. And everyone in the room was like, oh, that's very true. Very true. So when we were designing the questionnaire, we had experts come in as well. And obviously with me, I had to be very careful because, some questions you can't ask women and things like that. You got to have the gender and things like that. So they understood that, but the question were done in a way that they can answer the question, and it could be asked by somebody who's not medically trained, because we just wanted to see people that really needed help quite quickly, who
Mm,
are going through traumatic
beautiful.
events.
Mhm.
So what they do is, once they've done that, we have a doctor or clinicians, they screen through the information and then try and pick them out and help them out. So regardless, and what we were hoping of doing, it's a database that's not accessed by in relation to immigration. No, this is about supporting the health needs. So that we had to make sure that the migrants coming in, they felt secured to be able to speak to us and open to us what they had been through, and things they're battling every day, because they might look good on the outside, but it's the inside that we don't see, and that's when they're actually hurting the most.
Mm,
Disability, it's invisible as well.
right.
So it was really important. We got some few guys from Italy. He's such a lovely guy. He came through the boat. He survived, but I think 20 people died. So we did a film, and he talked about racism, everything. But he was happy he got a chance to live, and he wants to do more for others.
Mm,
For me, I'm happy with that. That's what I want to do. Everything can't be, yes, great all the time. If you can help one life, and you hope that life will help another life,
mm,
then that's good. That's good enough for me. So
beautiful.
we had a lunch,
Yeah.
traveled around, and then COVID hit, because we were about to go to different camps where they have children, minors, UN, and then obviously COVID came about, and then we couldn't do that much. But that hasn't stopped me. I mean, I'm doing a lot of like intervention. Elena knows that. I never stop. So when it comes to health, comes to physical activities, I love sports as well. Um,
Mm.
I'm there. I would do anything within
And
my power to help.
Angela, we are running out of time, and we definitely want to have you come back and share more. I just know that there are so many people out there that would want to hear what you are up to and what you are taking on, and what's the future for what you're up to. So, and I think we might have some people that would have some questions for
Yeah.
you. So who wants to ask a question, guys? I'm gonna start. So
Oh,
I have a question for you, Angela.
okay.
What in 5 years from now, where do you see yourself going with this?
In 5 years from now, obviously, with the project I'm doing right now, trying to provide rapid test kits in rural Africa, I definitely want to conquer the whole Africa.
Mm, ah, beautiful. I'm in 38 countries in Africa. Beautiful.
We
Absolutely.
we've done two already.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, Dr. Kara has a question.
I did. So you alluded to going from science-based corporate America in the tech industry to completely switching over to healthcare. So Carol is huge in mindset. So my question to you is, what do you think was the most important part of making that transition? Was it your mindset? Was it a support network? Something else that I'm not thinking of right now? What motivated you and gave you the confidence to take on that newest feat?
Oh, thank you very much. That's a great question, actually. I would definitely say just had I just wanted to do it. There was no stopping me, really. I felt the need to do more, and I knew I was yearning for more, and that was it. I would definitely say the motivation, even when I knew it was difficult with the kids, I still did it anyway. So yeah, so I always say when you have that zeal, just go with it, fly with it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Angela.
Absolutely. Anybody else have a question for Angela? No? Okay. Yeah, Alina.
Yeah, maybe I would like just to say, Angela, tell the ladies a little bit about your another NGO that you are running. I mean, MENA.
Oh yeah,
It's
yes.
worth to mention.
Yeah, yeah. So, MENA Foundation, MENA is gift. So my middle name is Okemena, which is gift from God. So
Oh,
I feel literally with MENA, we do a lot of like, training, infection control. I am a very hands-on nurse, clinical manager. So we kind of like we do collaborate a lot. And Elena, we've done a lot. We've traveled a lot to different places, but I think it's just the fact that one is very, open to support from other organizations. You can't do it all. You cannot do it all. And the little you do, be appreciative because at the end of the day, you've done something. So yeah, so MENA Foundation is obviously it's a charitable organization where we do loads of things. So whatever you want done, we can create a project and we can harness it.
very, very cool. Okay. Anybody else have a question for Angela? No? Okay. Angela, it has absolutely been a pleasure having you on as our guest. And
Thank you.
really and truly, this is how we get to know what's going on out there, how we get to know the people that are really and truly difference makers out there. And you are a difference maker. Just that you know, this is a community here.
Mm.
My podcast hosts, they are all about making a difference for other women, empowering other women across the world. So really know you have a huge support here of, women that want to see you move forward in what you're up to, because it's going to impact our planet. So
Absolutely brilliant.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Maria,
you.
Maria has her
I
hand
think
up
Maria,
before
yeah.
we end.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maria.
Just to say very quickly, Angela, I'm just totally inspired. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'd love to connect with you about another matter which we won't discuss here, but
Yeah.
I really would love to connect with you. So
Oh,
yeah.
that was brilliant. And ladies, thank you so much. It's been it's quite nice to share the story. And Elena told me, I was like, oh, my story's boring, But I'm glad I did, and I'm really happy. Just thank you so much. It's absolutely lovely to meet you guys. I can't wait to hear your stories as well. So
Story is
I
so
have I have
inspiring, and it will inspire so many women out there because you took something and you made something. You took something out of your head and you made something. You made something that's just impacting so many people. So hear that from us, okay? Get that acknowledgement. Thank you
thank
for
you.
being somebody that had the ideas and then took action and made it happen. Not everybody does that, Angela. You are special.
No,
Yes,
thank you. I
that's
think we're all
true.
special.
Yes.
You are special, okay? And you're
Thank you.
special to us. So we definitely will rally behind you. You'll have our support in whatever it is you're taking on and doing.
No, thank you. Thank you so
Please,
much.
everybody, put your information in the chat
Mm.
so that Angela has it. She can reach out to you. You can reach out to her. Angela, I hope you
Yeah.
put yours in.
I will do now. Yeah, I'll probably have to go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then, guys, thank you so much for another wonderful episode. Oh my goodness. Every time I do these episodes, I walk away, my heart's so full. Guys, this is our another episode of Women Empowered Across the World podcast. Please, if you love these episodes, please subscribe. It helps us a great deal to get it out to many more people. Subscribe, share, comment. And please, if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, guys, there's no script here. This is just you coming and bringing your story and sharing from your heart. Okay? So if you'd like to be a guest, we're all over. LinkedIn, social media, you can find us, contact one of us, and you can be a guest on our podcast. Right now, we have about 60 women for 2025. That's how many are wanting to be guests on our podcast, guys. 60 women right now for 2025 already. So thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. We just want everyone to be thriving here. Okay? And have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.